Excuse me. Quick audio check before you go into full lurk mode, Edie. Can you hear me? Make sure nothing got messed up because I had to adjust a few things. But can you hear me speaking? Okay, good. Looks like the storm might just pass casually by, although there's another chunk of it a little south of me, so I'm a little concerned about that, of course, so, you know. We'll see what happens. Alright, that's running fine, that's running fine. Oh. Let Twitch catch up here, of course. Let's see. It's all set. And my computer's not warning me about lightning, at least. It just says raining now. Yeah, no shit, I can see it by looking outside. Looking out my window, which I can barely see through because it's pouring. I can clearly see the weather. Anyway. It's not helping my headache any, of course. Good old pressure change. Already taken some meds for that, but technology is so smart. Great. It can be when it wants to be. To a scary level sometimes. Alright, Twitch, can you catch up here already, please? Man, this thing takes forever before it starts, like, going good. That's fine. Wiggly! Yeah, the Wiggly. Best Wiggly. Wiggly, 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 wiggly. Look at him go. Alright, Twitch, come on already. Can't officially start, it's not 8 o'clock anyways, but I can't officially start until my bitrate has stabilized. Where it shows me that it's good, at least. Come on. Unless my internet's just gonna crap out on me, which is also possible. It likes to do that during a thunderstorm, of course, naturally. I may not have it now. It just says light rain. Thank you for updating me, computer. I appreciate that. I can see that as well. I can actually see out my window again. It's not pouring anymore. Yay! At least for another 20 minutes. Give or take. Alright, sometime today, Twitch. Because this takes like, usually takes like about 5 minutes before it actually finishes catching up with everything here. Hence the reason why I usually go live well in advance. To give time for Twitch to make up its damn mind. Ugh. I've got to do something about my audio stuff for next week. Oh, stretchy, stretchy. Oh, goodness. Now it's pouring again. Oh, I love the weather over here sometimes, especially this time of the year. There we go. Now it's giving me my excellent connection rating and showing my bitrate finally. Yay! Took you long enough, Twitch. That took what? Almost 6 minutes, almost 5 minutes. 4 minutes and 45 seconds. That's a little faster than it did yesterday or the day before. But yeah, we are on chapter 6 of 10 chapters of Steins game. We should actually be able to get an ending today. One of them at least. I can't see my room, it's so dark in here. I don't want to turn on the fucking ceiling light though. You would think it was nighttime with how dark it is in here right now. Good old weather down here. Give it a few more minutes. Do my intro in a moment or two. Make sure I got all the tags on there that I want. Just for a second, story time. Everwalk and mature audiences. Yeah, I decided to put the, I added a tag to my list there. Mature audiences. Since, bad wrong shit happens in this, visual novel. I didn't give a trigger warning for, or a quote-unquote trigger warning for Tuesday. Seeing as somebody literally gets shot in the head. And other things that occur. But that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. The kids won't listen. Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. Tags? What are those? Oh, I have to read stuff now? Hmm. They think they are mature. True. That is true. Hey, Fuzz, imagine reading, right? Imagine reading. My word. Reading? What is that? Is it something you can eat? Let me turn on my light here. I can't see a damn thing in here. It's dark. Hold on. Just take a quick look outside here. Oh, buddy. It is flooding out there. Holy shit. So much rain, it's flooding. And thank you for doing the shout out for Fuzz. I appreciate that. I believe reading is where you insert a mouthpiece into a musical instrument. Just giving it a few minutes here to see what the weather decides to do here. Because it showed a whole hell of a lot of a storm on the coast here. And I mean, instead of just the usual blue or like a little bit of yellow, it was like red and purple for like the rating on it. Which is not good for me. Red's bad enough, but the purple section means like extremely heavy lightning. And that was headed towards me. So, yay. Usually it waits until after my damn stream, and this time it's like, nah, we're gonna start right at the beginning. Have fun. But, as they say, the show must go on, and it looks like it's just gonna graze right by me. Mostly. I get the rain portion of it, not the thunder and lightning. I haven't heard any thunder, surprisingly. Considering it's not that far off, but I suppose far enough for it not to be a concern for me. Pardon me. Hiccups all of a sudden. But anyway, let me do my intro in just a second. A few minutes off my normal start time, but that's fine. I don't think that'll hurt anything. I need to be a little more lenient on myself for the start times and all that. I am too strict with that. Enjoy your lurk, Edie, and a comfy seat in the Yggdrasil library with a nice cup of coffee. Or tea if you prefer them. Although I believe you do enjoy coffee in the morning at least. Tea later. If you drink tea all that often anymore. I go back and forth sometimes. At least the first thing I drink in the morning is always, if I'm going to have something with caffeine, it's always coffee, not tea. Tea is more of an evening thing for me. Evening or middle of the day, depending. At least that's what I do usually. Or if I don't have coffee at all, then I'll drink the tea we have. I only drink tears. Well played. I like that. Make sure this fan's actually blowing here. What the hell? And that's working. Let me do something real quick. Wait. Oh, my nose. My goodness. Oh, stuffy. It's our stuffy. Alright. Pardon me. Let me hydrate real quick. Alright. Do my intro in just a second here, and then I will officially get started. May as well. It looks like it's going to be safe enough. I can actually see, like, beyond the clouds in the sky, so... I might be able to actually turn my light back off and just use, like, the light from the window. Like I normally do. But anyway, give me 1 second. Hail and well met, honored guests. The doors to the Yggdrasil Library have opened once more. Please make your way inside and get comfortable, as the stream will be starting... now. Oh. Need to get my desktop audio back on again. Oh. I have to manually click that because my toggle key is the same thing as the damn... one of the toggles in the game itself. Because that's just what it had to be in this game. I mean, like I said before, I could use my controller for it, and have to deal with that, but I don't know how the controller works on this, and I don't feel like testing it right now. So, there we are. But anyway. Welcome in, Edie. Enjoy your lurk. Welcome in, Fuzz, and anyone else who has shown up already. We will now begin the show, as it were. Hey, Cody, welcome in, welcome in. How you doing today? I hope you are doing good. Slightly late start time because I was dealing with a thunderstorm rolling through. I wanted to make sure it was good enough before I started doing anything. And thank you for doing the shout out, Edie. I appreciate that very much. Alright, we will officially get started now. Oh, let me practice my voice again. There. 1 second. This time, I don't leap into action immediately. Instead, I sit on the couch and collect my thoughts. Every time I try to save Mayuri, it ends in the worst possible way. To make matters worse, I no longer even know what I'm supposed to be saving her from. Cause and effect. Why does Mayuri die? Mayuri dead. Doing as well as I can for a sick person? Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Gotti. And I thought I saw that you had mentioned that on the Discord. Well, I hope you feel better soon. Make sure you get plenty of rest and drink plenty of water. And take these head pats from Edie. We will hope that you get better quickly. Pardon me. At first, I thought it was... bleh. At first, I thought that it was Moika and her hit squad, sent by CERN to steal our time machine. But as I leapt back in time again and again, the cause of Mayuri's death kept changing. Hopefully, well, again in a few days, yeah. In a few days or less, preferably. At Shin Ochinomizu Station, she died because Nai pushed her off the platform. By accident. CERN had nothing to do with that. It was an accident. Each time I leap, she dies a different way. What does that mean? I've been thinking for an hour, and I'm no closer to an answer. I want someone to tell me, but who can I ask? Cute Thomas, the steam engine meme. Oh no. I'm the only person in history to leap through time. No, there's one more. John Titor. But he's not replying to my emails anymore, and he hasn't posted on @channel in days. Not even convinced he's a real time traveler. Who knows, man. I decided not to run this time. Instead, I take a different approach. Strike first. Send Moika an email. Need to talk to you about our time machine. Beat me alone. Ooh. Being proactive now. I designate the roof of Radican as our meeting place. 2 weeks have passed since the satellite crashed, but it's still there, and the building's still closed. At least the security is lessened, so it's easy for me to sneak in. Not that there's any sneaking to do, I just walk in through the front door like I belong there. No one questions me. I mean, that is actually how you... If you want to get somewhere where you're not supposed to be, and they're not, like, being super strict about security, literally just walk in like you belong there, just kind of smile and nod and say, hey, good morning, or whatever time it happens to be, and, sadly, a good portion of the time, you will be able to just walk through some places. Like I said, it depends on their level of security, though. But if it's any kind of regular basic place, yeah, you can literally just walk in by pretending you belong there. It does actually work quite well. I have tested this a few times. Just because. Also depends on how you're dressed as well, too. That can affect things. If you're not dressed as at least close to how you would be technically expected to look, yeah, it does work, surprisingly. Or unsurprisingly, depending. Like, any place that doesn't have actual, like, proper security or, like, or doesn't properly pay attention, you can get places you're not supposed to be. So, yeah. Just saying.
Fucking bullshit!
Thank you, Edie. Fucking bullshit. I love that sound. Good stuff. Oh, damn it, I skipped it down. Of course, on this world line, the presentation was cancelled. Talking about Dr. Nakabachi's presentation on time travel. Naturally, there's nobody here but me. It occurs to me that this is a dangerous gambit. Moika might have a gun. I already know that she's willing to use it. Fair. But then I don't intend to play fair either. Yeah. We're supposed to meet at 5:30. It's just after 5. I came early in order to ambush her. I hide in the shadows and wait with bated breath. About 30 minutes later, I hear the door open. Ah, there she is. Moika makes her entrance, alone. She looks around restlessly. Well, I mean, I don't think she actually wants to hurt anybody. But, you know. When you have to follow orders or something's being used against you, it kind of makes things a little difficult, you know? Ah, yes, and Kadi, as you can see on the bottom of the screen there is a sub-goal now. As per inspiration from you for doing some ASMR related stuff. So I made a little sub-goal for the month. A minimum of 10 subs before the month is over, and I will do at least a 10-minute ASMR little session. Any sub past 10, and I will add an additional minute to that total. So, we'll see what happens. I doubt I'll get the 10 subs before the month's over, honestly, to myself. We need more workout redeems. I can... What kind of other exercises should I put on there, Edie? What would you have me add on there? Come up with a few and I'll think about adding them on. I don't mind exercising. She still hasn't noticed me. I take a gun out of my shirt. What? Where the hell did he get a gun? Oh wait, is it a fake gun or a real gun? He answers it 5 seconds after I said that. Well then. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Spiff. Well, that's halfway to the goal immediately. Nice, we got a gift to... I don't know how to pronounce that name. Morcelonix. Z, Grindhouse Girl, and Obnignus. Obnignus being my best friend, actually, IRL. That is the name of my best friend IRL. I've known him for more than half my life. So, thank you for gifting a gift sub to him. Every once in a while he lurks in stream. He never talks in stream because he's usually working at this time with a lot of other stuff keeping him busy, but he'll lurk in stream occasionally. And Grindhouse Girl, another good person. Z, another good friend of mine. I'm not sure how I missed Morcelonix joining. That must have happened yesterday when it was lagging like hell. Damn. Forgot to say thank you to them for giving a follow. How rude of me. How rude of me. For doubting the sub goal. Yeah. I don't expect people to ever give me subs, you know that. Several people in chat know that I doubt that'll ever get subs from anybody. Even when it happens, I still doubt it. It's just in my nature, I can't help it. But anyway. But thank you. I appreciate the gifty subs. Thank you. And I hope you are doing well this morning, actually. Hope you got some good sleep last night / this morning, whenever you decided to go to sleep. Sleepy? Okay. Alright. Let's continue with this talky talk here. So, yep, we are now halfway to the goal for the mini ASMR segment. Thank you. Very, very much appreciated. I actually think that's almost close enough to enough sub points for more emote unlocks, actually. Well, that's pretty cool. Another bonus, another side bonus. Let me hydrate real quick. Also have to keep an eye on the weather out here. There is a massive thunderstorm right next to me, basically. I'm not sure if it's going to swing over me or not, or just kind of gently graze by. I'm hoping it just continues to slide by on the side and not actually hit me directly, because that would suck. Because it's showing some nastiness. Like, usually it's like yellow and blue, just for like, you know, good amount, decent light to medium rain. No, there's a lot of sections that are red and purple, which is like heavy rain and lightning. Like, heavy amounts. I'm like, just stay over that way, please. Away from me. Usually it waits until after I'm done with stream. This time it's like, no, we're going to start stream off with a thunderstorm. You're welcome. Thanks, weather. Anyway. Oh, goodness. Yep. He's got a gun. Rentaro has a gun on him, but it's not real. It's a fake gun, of course. This is Japan, after all. Hey, Ken, welcome in. How you doing today? Oh, it's one of his future gadgets thing. It's future gadget number 1, the bit particle gun. I don't remember him talking about that actually yet. Ah, okay. It's just a toy ray gun with a remote control attached. Obviously a bluff, but all I could prepare on such short notice. I run up behind Moika and shove the bit particle gun into her back. I mean, it would still work. It would still play the part right there like that. Don't move. Just woke up and having a headache? Ugh. Yeah, I woke up with a headache as well, Ken. I feel you. Well, hopefully yours goes away immediately. Mine's still kind of lingering a little bit, but not too bad. Not bad enough to interrupt stream, at least. That's right, Moika. We got a gun. Not a real one, but we got a gun. Hands up. Just like a Hollywood movie. Rentaro, please don't try to act it up a little too much here. But this isn't a movie. This is real. She isn't an actress. She's a murderer. Murderer. I can speak words. After Moika raises her hands, I feel through her clothes. Right? Rentaro would be like, I got a gun. It may be a toy gun, but I got a gun. You don't know it's a toy gun. I mean, right? How many times did you say you were going to bed, Ken, and then you didn't? Right? You know, like I remember you saying like multiple times that you were going to go to bed and then you didn't. Oh, good. What? Oh, why are you going to hit me with that now? Alright, hold on. Technically I should have shut that off for my, my visual novel streams, but that's fine. Hold on. Let me clear my voice real quick. Give me just a sec. ASMR thunderstorm. Give me just a second. Right back. We'll be right back. Probably just one time for you because you're all out of points. Ah, I see, I see. Hold on. I gotta get to my phone here. No. Phone, behave, please. Where's my timer thing? Ah, there it is. Let me... wait, hold on. Ah! Phone does not want to cooperate. Give me just a second. Okay, there we go. I guess I will read this out in ASMR voice for 2 minutes. Let me readjust myself. Ow! My knee. Oh, son of a biscuit. Anyway. Let me get to the next line here. Gotta throw off my voice acting for the day, damn it. Anyway. Starting the timer now. Sure enough, she's carrying a gun. I take it from her and press it to Moika's back in place of the bit particle gun.
残念だったな。最初の銃はおもちゃだ。
Sorry to disappoint you. The first gun was a toy.
話を聞きたい。お前がセルンの資格であることは分かっている。
Talk. I know you were sent by CERN.
なぜ
How?
知りたいのか。知りたいのかよ。
How? You want to know how? My frustration and rage boil over. Because of her. Because of her, Mayuri.
俺はタイムマシンで未来から来た。
I came from the future, that's how.
冗談だと思っているのか。だが俺はすでに4、5回は同じ時間を繰り返してきた。
You think I'm lying? I've repeated the last several hours a half dozen times already. I've lost count of how many times exactly. And I haven't slept at all that entire time. Strangely, I'm not tired at all.
だからこれからお前たちが何をするかも知っている。
I know what you're planning.
7時過ぎに電車が止まる。爆破予告のせいでな。
Around 7, you're going to stop the trains. Moika gasps. So it was their doing.
お前と仲間たちが今日ラボを襲撃することも知っている。
I also know that you're planning to attack the lab, you and your men.
そこでお前がマユリを殺すこともだ。
And that is the end of that ASMR segment. We'll get back to the more serious voice acting for this scene here, but thank you for the redeem, Ken. I appreciate that. Let me leave my timer set over here just in case I need it again at some point. And then you're going to kill Mayuri.
私も
I
理解したか。
I mean, Rentaro has good reasons to be pissed off at her. Like, he's holding himself back pretty good right now. Understand? I'm a time leaper. Moika nods faintly. I could kill her now. It would be easy. But no, I need information.
お前たちはセルンの何なんだ。
Who are you people?
ラウンダー
Rounders. Rounders? Weird title. Moika answers with surprising obedience. I mean, I honestly don't think, you know, I know I've seen the anime, of course. I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but I honestly don't think she, like, really intends to cause any harm. She's just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, so to speak, basically. I guess she values her own life, even though she has no problem depriving other people of theirs.
ラウンダ
Well, I mean, when she pulled the gun, she didn't have a steady hand. Her hand was shaking when she pulled the
セ
gun.
ルンとの関係性は
That's not usually a sign of somebody that's comfortable with pulling the gun on somebody. Having to, you know? But anyway. Of course, of course Rentaro wouldn't know that, I guess. But anyway. Rounders. What is that? How are you related to CERN?
メールで
By email.
ダメだ。口頭で説明しろ。
No. Speak.
ラウンダーは
The Rounders
セルンとは別組織
are an organization separate from CERN.
公には出てこない
Covert operations. Ah.
そういう扱い
We don't exist. It's like that, is
秘
it?
密の傭兵部隊か。
Like a private army?
違う。
No.
IBN5100
Our mission
その情報収集と回収のため
is to find and acquire IBN 5100s. Ah.
世界中に散らばって
They send us around the world.
それを集める。
We collect them. IBN 5100s. That's right. When I met her, she was looking for an IBN 5100. These days, they're nearly impossible to find. People will pay millions just to own one. That's a ridiculous amount of money to pay for an IBN 5100. For an old-ass computer. Although, in this case, I can understand because, you know, there's other things tied to it you can make use of with that information and ability, but still. Is that because CERN has been hunting them down?
ラウンダーの規模は
How many rounders are there? She's not gonna answer that.
答えろ
Answer me!
知らない。
I don't know.
まただから
I was gonna say she probably wouldn't actually know because, you know, if it's a proper secret organization like that, they're not gonna give you that kind of information. Just for situations like this. I'm just an agent. So she's not important enough to be told. Yeah.
俺が手に入れた IBN5100 を盗んだのもやはりお前だな。
Was it you who stole our IBN 5100? Oika doesn't answer.
なぜ IBN5100 の情報をハッキング対策か
Why does the CERN need IBN 5100s? To keep hackers out?
機密保持
Maintaining secrecy.
最も優先すべき事項だから
Is the highest priority
セブン
for CERN.
一体何が隠されている
What are they hiding?
タイムトラベルの人体実験やその実験で何百人と殺しているという情報は普通の PC でもハッキングで見ることができた
We already know they've killed hundreds of test subjects with their time travel experiments. We didn't need an IBN 5100 to find that out.
IBN5100 で構築されたデータベースにはそれ以上の極秘情報があるというのか
You're saying the IBN 5100 database has information more sensitive than that?
知らない
I don't know.
末端だからか
Because you're just an agent? My tone is sarcastic. Oh, but Moika nods. Yeah. Damn, she's useless.
なぜラボを襲ったいやお前にとってはこれから襲うか
Why did you attack the lab? Or rather, why will you attack the lab?
分かっているはず
Isn't it obvious?
セルへのハッキングをしたからか
Because we hacked into CERN?
理由は3つ
Three reasons.
1つは知ったから、君たちが
First, because of what you know.
知ってはいけないこと
We were ordered to silence you. So CERN did know about the hacking.
それとタイムマシン
Second, the time machine.
君たちが作った
The one you made. Lost my voice for a second. They want our time. Oh, that was some loud thunder all of a sudden. They want our time machine. CERN must be trying to monopolize time travel technology. I mean, that sounds like the kind of move you would make anyways. If you're gonna do time travel stuff, you kind of want to be the only one that does the time travel stuff, because otherwise, you know, then you get into all sorts of chaos at that point.
決定的だったのは
Third, the reason it happens today
君たちがそのタイムマシンを世間に公表しようとした
You plan to make your time machine public. How does she know that? We made that decision right after the time leap machine was completed. I mean, she's a secret agent. She could have just placed anything, a bug in there, obviously, easily enough, or anything like that. That was only a few hours ago.
だから全員拘束
I mean, if she's part of a secret organization, obviously they have ways of getting information And you've let her into the lab how many times now? I mean, come on now. And that's why I was ordered to take you in.
拘束マユリを殺したではないか
Take us in? You killed Mayuri.
あの子は必要ね。
She is unnecessary. Unnecessary? I nearly pulled the trigger. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Rintaro's gonna be a little pissed off about that.
タイムマシーンを作ったのは君とマキセと橋田だから。
Okabe, Makase, Hashida, you made the time machine.
あの子は殺しても構わない。
She is expendable.
そう言われた。
Those are my orders.
俺たちを拘束して
Damn.
どうするつもりだった
After you take us in, what then?
セルンの施設に監禁してタイムマシン実用化の研究を。
Oh. CERN will hold you prisoner. Force you to complete their time travel research.
そうやってこれまでにもセルン以外のタイムマシン研究を潰してきたんじゃないか
Have you done this before? How many lives have you ruined for CERN's research?
私は回収しろと言われただけ。
I do as I'm told.
お前のことを一瞬でも仲間にした俺が間違いだった
I was a fool to consider you my friend.
セルンのため
Well,
すべて
I live for CERN. Hold on.
FB の命令すべて
I live for FB.
何でもやる。FB の指示なら。
I'll do anything if FB tells me to. FB? Is that the name of her supervisor?
岡部君、
That's a good question.
君なの？
Is it you?
ジョン・タイターは。
Are you John Titer? No, but
何
what? John Titer?
考えられない。君しか。
There's no one else it could be. Me?
何をバカな
I don't have time for this. I digged a gun into Moika's back.
それより死にたくなかったら今すぐにお前の仲間とそれと FB とやらに連絡しろラボ襲撃は中止
I
だ
don't think she's gonna do that. You wanna live, you'll call your friends. Call FB. Cancel the attack. Moika shakes her head.
そんな権限ない。
I don't have the authority.
知ったことか権限がなかろうが何とかするんだでないと
I don't care. Find some way to stop the attack. Otherwise,
殺す
I'll kill you. I can't do it. I'm not a killer. My hands are trembling, just like Moika's were before she shot Mayuri.
なんで殺したんだ
Why? Why did you kill her? She was hesitating. She didn't want to pull the trigger. But she did.
お前もあんなことしたくなかったんだろなのになんで
You didn't want to kill her, did you? So why?
私は従うだけ。
I just obey
FB に。
FB.
だったらその FB とかいうやつをここに連れてこい
Then bring that son of a bitch here. Damn. Moika shakes her head again.
だからそっちの事情なんて知ったことじゃないと
I don't care about your authority. If you don't do what I say,
無理なの。
I can't.
FB に会ったことは。
I've never... Uh-oh. Something hard stabs into my back. A chill runs through my body. There's someone behind me.
銃を捨てろ
I drop the gun. Uh-oh. Man's voice. Ah, shit. Is he with Moika?
あいつキリュウモエか
I'm ready to pull the trigger in cold blood.
二人だけで会うと約束しただろ
We promised to meet alone. I mean, did you really think it was going to play out that way? Come on. Moika doesn't answer.
いいから銃を捨てろ
I said drop the gun.
タイムマシンは渡すだから誰も殺すな
I'll give you the time machine. Just don't kill anyone.
だとして
Even if you do that. Even though I'm still pointing the gun at her, Moika steps away and turns to face me. Her eyes are cold, her expression unreadable.
監禁して
You'll still be held prisoner.
二度と出されぬ
Forever. Damn. Moika takes the gun from my hands. I'm unable to resist.
頼むハッキングのことを謝るから誰も殺さないでくれ
I'm sorry about the hacking. Just please, don't kill anyone. Blech. Something strikes the back of my head. My legs give out instantly, sending me to the ground. He done got knocked out. Darkness creeps in.
ターゲット B を確保開始を頼む
Target B in custody. Requesting pickup. Deep down, I knew. Can't save Mayuri. Even if Moika's group doesn't kill her, someone or something else will. What is this? Weather alert? I don't know. I don't like that. Computer, shush. Don't tell me that. I don't want to have to call or cancel stream anytime soon. Stop it. Thunderstorms. The world itself wants her dead. That is the choice of Steins Gate. Oh. Steins Gate? There's no such thing. Those words have no meaning. It's just some nonsense I made up to sound cool. Steins Gate doesn't exist, but fate does. Fate, God, the will of the universe, an absolute force that no one can resist. It exists and it has sentenced Mayuri to death. I wake up in the back of a station wagon. Station wagon, huh? The windows are coated with black film, so I can't tell where we are. I feel a throbbing pain in the back of my head. He basically got pistol whipped. So, that's understandable. My hands are tied behind me. What time is it? How long have I been unconscious? There's a man with me inside the car. I recognize him from a previous time loop. He's the one who stabbed Mayuri in the taxi. The man seems to notice I've woken up, but he doesn't speak. He just waves his gun menacingly, as if to say that there's no hope of escape. The dashboard clock reads 7:30. Look out the window again. Through the film, I managed to make out a street sign. We're close to the lab. Has the attack already happened? Before I left, I told everyone, including Mayuri, to run. She did as I said. She won't die by their hands. Maybe. That doesn't mean she's safe. If I don't do something, Moika is going to take the time leap machine away. What will happen then? CERN can have the machine, if it will save Mayuri. The problem is that it won't. Not when the world itself is determined to kill her. As long as the time leap machine remains in my hands, I can keep trying to fix things. I'll leap again and again until I find a way to save her. If I lose the machine, then the future's decided. A future without Mayuri. I have to get it before they do, even if it means I might get shot. As long as I survive to reach the time leap machine, everything will be alright. And here we go again. What? My bound hands limited me to headbutts and kicks, but I somehow managed to knock down the man guarding me and escape. Love the music when they did these scenes. My chest and neck are covered with blood. I must have been shot during the struggle, but thanks to the adrenaline pumping through my body, I barely feel the pain. I can still move, that's all that matters. I run up the stairs with my hands still tied. I can only pray that I'll be able to operate the time machine quickly enough. Mayuri. Kurisu and Daru are in the lab, of course. So are Moika and her men. I open the door and burst in, everyone looks at me in surprise. It's chaos time. When she sees my tattered body, Mayuri runs up to me with tears in her eyes. Wait. Try to stop her. In the corner of my eye, I see Moika take aim at Mayuri. Again. I try to put myself between them. Try to cover Mayuri with my body. But a man grabs me from behind and pulls me back. I watch helpless as Mayuri's tiny body drops to the floor. Right? Hey, Nick, welcome in, good sir. Yeah, certain guards really suck for people who act like they're some kind of elite. True. But how you doing, good sir? How you doing? Let me get a hydration bit here. Her eyes, wide and wet with tears, seem to stare into mine. But I can see that they've already lost their lights. She's gone. Again. Again. Again! What happens next is the same as before. Suzuha defeats the Rounders, and Kurisu helps me time loop. I've lost count of how many times he's time looped now. A flood of sound beats on my eardrums. When it subsides, I find myself again in the lab. It's just before 5. I have 2.5 hours before Mayuri dies. Excuse me. I find myself staring at the time leap machine. This thing is the reason for Moika's attack. If only we had never built the phone wave. If only we had never sent those D-mails. Perhaps the future might be different, instead of the nightmare it promises now. Aside from the crushing depression happening on screen, right? Things are going pretty good. Have a bit of a thunderstorm threatening me out here. It's kind of passing by very, very closely to me. My computer keeps giving me weather warnings. So I'm hoping it just kind of grazes by and just doesn't actually hit my area too badly. Because there's some like heavy, heavy rain and thunder and lightning just to the west of me, basically. Let me turn this light on. Whatever, I can see good enough. Good enough. But glad you are doing alright, good sir. Let me... I remember how to do my own shoutouts here. Hi. Aha. Give you a little shout out there, good sir. Ow, son of a... And because it wasn't done earlier... There we go. Do some shout-outs. Shouty-outs. And of course, you're welcome, you're welcome. I should have grabbed a snack. Damn it. Oh well, I'll get one in a little while. Would anything change if I broke it? Just smashed it to pieces right here. I don't think so, Taro. In a rush of delirium, I grab a chair and lift it high over my head. Just as I'm about to bring it crashing down on this infernal machine, a voice cries out.
Okabe, nani shittenno yo?
Stop, Okabe, what are you doing? Kurisu grabs my arm and pulls me back.
Ima, kowasouto shita.
Are you trying to break the machine? Yeah. Yeah, he is.
何も壊さなくったって。
You don't have to break it, Okabe.
タイムリープはしない。そう決めたんだから、それでいいでしょ?
Yeah, that doesn't matter, Kurisu. We already decided not to experiment, remember?
とにかく、椅子を下ろして。
Anyway, put the chair down. I lowered the chair slowly. Not because Kurisu told me to, but because I realized what would happen if I really did break the machine. It caused, or will cause, Mayuri's death. But at the same time, it's also my only chance of averting that future. If I lose it, I lose my only hope of saving her. Fear of that outcome stayed my hand.
顔色悪いな。どうしたのよ?
You look pale. What's wrong? If only you knew, Kurisu, how many times he's time-leaped and seen Mayuri die in front of his eyes over and over again. That would mess anybody up, to be fair.
聞いてんの?
We got all the good people here today. But yeah, good to see you, Nick. Good to see you. Are you listening? I can't deal with this. Not now.
ちょっと
I flee from the lab. I don't have a particular destination in mind. People look at me strangely as I shuffle down the street. I imagine I must look like I crawled up from the grave. Soon I get fed up with the crowd around the station and escape to the pedestrian overpass. I get about halfway across the bridge and squat down on the concrete. The giant screen on the UPX building is advertising some gothic punk band. The ticker at the bottom displays today's weather forecast along with the date and time. Yeah. That's pretty good, Nick. Yeah, it messes them up so bad they need Steins Gate 0 to emphasize how badly it messes them up. Yeah. Yeah. I realize that today is Friday the 13th. Is there no way to get through today without Mayuri dying? It's already 5:30, and 2 hours until the attack. The lights around Akihabara Station turn on one by one as the sun sets. Moe might be gone from Akiba, but the area around the station is still as posh as ever. I don't belong here. The bridge I'm sitting on has become a date spot for couples. I see them standing here and there, gazing at the cityscape with their arms wound around each other. Somehow they never seem to tire of the dull, unchanging scenery. Ah, you feisty. Streamer chat break. Okay. That's not going to affect people that have a sub, of course, but give me just a second. I will run a quick 1-minute ad and do a quick bit of a stretch. I'll be back in 1 minute. I really should put it on my be right back screen, shouldn't I? Oh well. Excuse me. Bring that back up again. How's it going, Feisty? How's it going? Exciting news. Do tell, do tell. Enjoy my snack real quick. Some hydration again. Pardon me again. My goodness. What am I doing here? Ayuri's about to die.
そこの地べたに座ってるドキュン男
Oh, nice. Get your next Twitch payout. You get some emotes commission. Very nice, very nice. I look forward to that. Very, very nice. Stretch. Oh. Back. See him again. Hey, don't you think you're a little old to be sitting on the ground in public? I lift my head and see Kurisu standing there. She's giving them the stare down.
いきなり飛び出したと思ったらこんなところにいたか
So this is where you went. I've been looking for you.
なあクリスティーナ
Be deleting sad tears, probably, but Bean Dance stays. Okay, okay.
何よ。
今何時だ
What time is it now?
5時38分。
5:38.
ねえ、そんなところでドキュン行為してる暇があったら買い出し付き合いなさいよ。
Hey, if you have time to sit around, then you can help me with the shopping. Shopping? Oh, right. Preparations for the party. In the original timeline, I went shopping with Kurisu at the UPX supermarket. That is true, Feisty, that is true. If it got deleted, she would kill you. Or at least, bonk you a million times. Upside the head. The bean dance, it must stay. I mean, it's too good not to have it. Then we talked on this bridge, just like now. It feels like so long ago. Back then, I had no idea what was about to happen.
どうなの？買い出し来るのか来ないのか。
The man's running out there again. Oh my goodness. Well, are you gonna come along or not? I sigh deeply. I don't believe that it was wrong to time you. However,
クリス
I keep my eyes lowered.
初めてまともに名前呼んだな。
That is actually the first time he said her name correctly. Whoa. That's some lightning out there now. Shit. Oh my. After class, opened all those streams, watched a bit, and then passed out till 1 in the morning. My goodness. Well, hopefully that rest was good at least. That's the first time you've said my name properly. I feel her eyes on me.
助けてくれ
Help me. I can't save my Yuri alone. I realize that now. He finally, after how many times he's time leaped? Well, they're basically married now. After all these times he's time leaped and seen Mayuri is very good. Okay, good. He now reaches out for help finally. Reliving today again and again, only to taste the same despair each time, has taught me one important lesson. Alone, I am powerless. Alone, I have no hope.
助けてくれ
話して。
Felt like a puppy when I woke up. Nice. That's good. That's good that it was refreshing like that. That's always a good thing. Tell me what happened.
あんたがタイムリープしたのは分かってる。
I know you used the time leap machine.
何
What? Some men time leap instead of seeking therapy. Oh my. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me actually. I look up in surprise. Kurisu doesn't meet my stare. Instead, she leans on the guardrail and gazes down at the plaza with her usual frown.
あんたに誰かから電話がかかってきたと思ったらいきなり表変したから。
Watching a friend die an infinite number of times is no excuse to not keep up your fake, irritating nicknames. I am disappointed in this man. And thank you for giving a shout out to Fuzz. Good Sir Nick. You get a phone call and suddenly you're like a different person.
私の目はごまかせない。
It was obvious.
3時間後から来た
I came from 3 hours in the future.
何があった？
What happened?
マユリが殺された
They killed Mayuri. I lower my head, trying to hold back the tears. Then I explain about Cern and Moeka, about how Kurisu herself activated the time leap machine and made this possible. I tell her about my previous leaps. I explain that the world itself wants Mayuri dead, that I can't save her no matter how I try. I keep talking for 30 minutes straight. During that time, Kurisu hardly says a word.
全て俺の責任だ
It's all my fault. Talking to Kurisu lets me sort out everything I've done, everything I've seen.
セルンにハッキングしろなんてダルに頼まなければよかった。
I mean, you never know how things are going to play out, to be fair, you know, honestly. Granted, hacking something that big and connected to many nationalities, nations, and all that, yeah, it's generally not a good idea. The world wanting you dead is typically daily life in Florida. I've been led to believe. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're right or wrong on that one. Leaning more towards right. But yeah, Florida can be a little unkind, I'll just say that. I shouldn't have told... Yeah. Shouldn't have told... Why I can't say this line all of a sudden? I shouldn't have told Daru to hack CERN.
タイムマシンを作ろうなんて言い出さなければよかった。
I shouldn't have asked you to build a time machine.
モエカをラボ面になんかするんじゃなかった。
Shouldn't have made Moika a lab man.
マユリが死ぬのは全て俺の責任なんだ。
Mayuri's death. It is all my fault. That's why I needed to bear the burden myself. I was resolved to do whatever it took to save Mayuri, never faltering, never giving up. And yet, my resolve has already crumbled.
そんなまずいことが起きようとしてるのに、あんたはなんで
I
ここで
mean,
ぼんやりしてるの？
I understand. Well, like, several factors that Rentaro just completely bypasses right here. A, every time he time leaps, that's an extreme amount of pain he experiences getting his memories from the future jammed into his past brain. And this just keeps adding up because he keeps doing it. That doesn't feel... Obviously, that's going to wear and tear on you. And then seeing somebody who's been your best friend, basically your childhood friend for however many years, die repeatedly, no matter what you do. I'm sorry. I don't care how stoic or how much mental fortitude you have. That's going to fuck with you. Badly. But anyway. If you know that Mayuri's gonna die, then what are you doing wasting your time here? Kurisu's tone is haughty. Is this how I sound when I'm playing Hoi and Kiyoma?
わからなくなったからだ。
I just don't get it anymore.
わからないって何が？
What don't you get?
マユリを助ける方法が。
How to save Mayuri?
あんたの話を聞いた限りじゃ、時間順序保護仮説は本当だったってことになるのかな。
Based on what you've said, I guess the chronology protection conjecture is true.
何をしてもどうやってもマユリが死んでしまうんだ。
No matter what I do, Mayuri dies.
だからタイムリープを延々と繰り返したか。
And that's why you keep time leaping.
タイムリープマシンは理論上絶対安全だと証明されているわけじゃない。
And there's no guarantee that the machine is safe, you know. Kurisu lowers her gaze, cups her chin, as she often does when assessing a problem.
これまでは何事もなく成功してたかもしれないけど、繰り返し使うことでどんな影響が出るかもわからない。
I mean, that is a serious concern I'd have right there. Even if the machine works perfectly, repeated use may have serious side effects.
もしかしたら時間の輪、つまり因果率から外れるかもしれない。
For example, you may become disconnected from causality itself. Yeah.
あんたはそんな危険を冒してるの。そのことを自覚して。
You need to understand the risks if you're going to continue.
因果率から外れると。
Disconnected from causality, meaning...
SF 小説によくあるでしょ。閉じた時間の輪の中で永遠にさまよい続けるってこと。永久に年は取らないけど 永久に同じ日からは出られなくなる。
It happens all the time in sci-fi. You'll become trapped in a closed time loop, never aging, never dying, but doomed to repeat the same day for all eternity. That would be terrifying.
最悪の場合、なかったことにされる可能性だってある。
Worst case, you may cease to exist entirely. What? Oh, thank you for warning me about that, computer. Thank you. Heavy thunderstorms. Yes, I know.
存在の抹消。あんたの18年だか
Just a-
19年だかの人生の痕跡すべてを
Just a heads up, chat. If I suddenly disappear, it's because the thunderstorm took my power.
Took the power out, just so you know. Hopefully it won't, but if that's why, if I suddenly disappear, that you'll know why. That means I lost power. But so far, so good. Anyway. Every trace of your existence will vanish. Nobody will remember you because your life will have never happened.
時間を飛び越えることはそれだけ危険なのよ。
Leaping through time is that dangerous.
人間は根源的に時間的存在者である。
Clearly, we'd have to accept that certain god to you. Humans are temporal beings. Kurusu looks surprised.
ハイデガーね。私も今その言葉を言おうと思ってた。
Heidegger, I was thinking of that quote too.
お前から教わった言葉だ。
I heard it from you first.
いつ？
When?
俺はもう何度もタイムリープしている。
Thank you, Spiff. Appreciate that. This isn't the first time I've leaped.
なるほど。
Right, of course. I mean, she's already accepted he's time leaped a few times more, at least more than once. Kurusu squats next to me, thinking deeply.
あんたの話が本当だったとして、マユリを助けたい気持ちは私だって同じよ。
If what you said is true, then I want to save Mayuri too. I mean, why would you not want to save Mayuri? She's absolutely precious.
でも、タイムリープマシン制作に関わった人間の一人として、あれを何度も使うことは勧められない。
But as the co-creator of the time leap machine, I can't recommend its continued use.
あんたはそれでももがく。
Will you listen to my advice?
俺は
I can't do it alone. I know that now.
だからお前に助けを求めたんだ。
I need your help.
もがくために、マユリを助けるために。俺一人じゃダメだったが、クリスの協力があれば
Damn, I gotta turn my light on. I can't see a damn thing in here anymore. It's
で
so
きると
dark.
信じたい。
I have to save Mayuri. I can't do it alone. But together we might have a chance. I need to believe that.
力を貸してくれ。
Please, lend me your strength. No worries, Feisty. Enjoy your lurk, my friend. Enjoy your lurk. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And Kurusu sighs.
無茶しやがって。バカ。
You're such a stubborn fool. She called him a baka.
あんた壊れててもおかしくなかったんだからね。
What you've been through. I'm surprised it hasn't broken you already. Hi, Jack. Welcome in. Welcome in, my friend. And we've got a... Hold on. Let me turn my light on. I can't see much right here. Even with my light up keyboard, stuff is like so dark. Give me 1 second. And just for Jack. But like I said, welcome in. Hope you are doing well today. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Damn it. Messing with the scene here.
Yeah? Yeah. Nyan nyan? Yeah, nyan nyan. Yeah. Yeah. Nyan 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 nyan. Nyan nyan. And yeah. Nyan nyan.
Anyway. Still, I can't believe I still have that as a redeem on there. Make me say silly stuff. I see how it is. But yeah, Good to hear you're doing well, Jack. Good to hear, good to hear. I get a quick sip of water here. There we go. Wait, did I read this line already? No, I'm reading it again anyways. What you've been through. I'm surprised it hasn't broken you already. I don't know, he's pretty close to that point already. Incredibly, she sounds concerned about me. Well, I mean, she's a tsundere. She actually does care. Even if she comes off as, yeah. She looks at me for a moment, then turns away as if embarrassed.
協力はする。
I'll help.
ただし、あんたのために協力するわけじゃないから。
Anyway, here's the tsundere line. Anyway, I'm not doing this for you, okay?
全部、まゆりのためよ。
Tsundere. I'm doing it for my Yuri.
ああ、当たり前だ。
Yeah, of course.
それに、あんたを被験者にすれば、いいデータが取れそうだし。
That, and I think you'll make a good test subject.
それはつまり、セルンの人体実験を肯定するということか。
And now you're talking like CERN.
全然違う。
It's completely different.
どこが？
How so?
被験者が岡部っていうところが。
I only experiment on you.
マッドサイエンティストとしては、自分自身も平気で実験台にするんでしょ。何せ、マットだし。
Thank you, Spiff. And thank you for yet another gift sub today. Very much appreciated, and enjoy access to the emotes once more, Jack. I now have my own Wiggly, thanks to Edie. She did a incredibly amazing job on that Wiggly. I love it so much. It is just fantastic. Now you get to enjoy it as well, and spread the Wiggly across all of Twitch, so that it may take over. I mean, what? Ooh, my nose, excuse me. Ooh. Oh my goodness, it is fucking pouring out there. Again. So far, so good. Not saying any. I'm not saying anything out loud. Not jinxing myself. Knock on wood. Yeah. But yes, thank you again for yet another gift sub. We are now at what, 6 towards the goal here now. 60% of the way of the sub goal. But yes, enjoy the emotes, Jack. And again, welcome in. Besides, mad scientists experiment on themselves all the time, don't they? Now you have more Wigglies. Nice. All the Wigglies.
そうだな。
I guess. I'm no longer afraid to time leap. I'll do anything to save my Yuri. I mean, he's time leaped how many times now? No, excuse me.
冗談よ。本気にするな。
It's just a joke. Don't take it so seriously. Kurusu stands up and looks at her watch.
さて、もうあまり時間もないから、これからあたふたするより、もっとじっくり対策を練った方がいい。
There's not much time. I think you should have a clear plan before trying to change the future again. Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
つまり、
Meaning?
今からもっと前の時間に飛んでおく。
Leap to an even earlier time.
そこで改めて私に事情を説明して。
Then explain the situation to me again. Kurusu's right. My actions so far have been almost entirely random. Look where that's gotten me. I need a real plan if I'm going to save my Yuri.
行こう。
Let's go. Kurusu stretches out her hands. Probably the first time he's ever had a plan, right? I grasp it and pull myself up. I mean, you're not wrong, probably. Mayuri and Daru are already back when we return to the lab. Suzuha is there too. To get rid of them, Kurisu and I explained that we forgot to do the shopping, so could they please take care of it for us? Clever. I have to cough up the money to convince them to go, but it works.
マユリ本人はともかく橋田にも話さないの？
I understand why you can't tell Mayuri, but why can't you tell Hashida?
必要になったら話す。
Now, I'll tell him when it's necessary. For now, it's not. I don't have time to explain. While Kurisu sets up the machine, I head downstairs to the Baron Tube workshop, kick the door open, and turn on the 42-inch CRT. That went more smoothly than I anticipated. It's highly illegal, of course, but I'll leap long before the cops get here. And Kurisu looks shocked when I return to the lab.
住居侵入罪で逮捕されるわよ。
And they'll throw you in the slammer for breaking and entering.
どうせ過去に戻れば今のはなかったことになる。
And in a few seconds, it won't have happened. Kurisu hands me the headgear and I put it on.
そっか。あんたの主観じゃそうなるわけだ。
I see. That's how it looks from your perspective.
私の主観だとどうなるんだろう。あんたが飛んだ後、ここはどうなる？
That's a very good question. What does it look like from my perspective? What happens here after you leap?
そのデータもすぐに取れる。
You'll know soon enough. My consciousness travels back to the past. That I know from experience. But what about the body I leave behind? If time is a straight line, then it's likely that the present will be reconstructed based on my actions in the past. But if the many worlds interpretation holds, then after I leave, this world will continue on as if nothing happened. I used to be so fascinated by the structure of the universe, but now I really don't care. All that matters is saving Mayuri. Fair. Kurisu's fingers stopped typing on the keyboard.
どうした？
Now what's wrong?
考えたら思考がループしちゃってた。
It's nothing. I was just thinking.
D メールのような状態になるかもしれない。
Maybe it works like a D-mail. The instant we send a D-mail, the present changes around us. Thanks to reading Steiner, only I remember what it was like before the change.
その方が楽だけど、悔しくもある。
That would make things easier, though I kind of hope you're wrong.
データを観測できないからか。
Pardon me, excuse me. Because you can't collect data if you can't record the change?
そういうこと。
Exactly. Kurisu nods and begins tinkering with the settings again.
転送先は5時間前にしておいた。つまり午後1時40分くらい。
I set the destination to 5 hours ago. You should arrive around 1:40 p.m.
覚えてる？私がタイムリープマシンを完成させたのは2時過ぎだった。
I completed the time leap machine just after 2. Do you remember? Barely. For Kurisu, that happened only 5 hours ago. For me, it feels like weeks. Maybe it has been weeks. I mean, several hours per each time leap. That's a decent amount of time. Then he's, have to experience the time leap repeatedly. It's only been roughly, let's say, 3, 6, 9. Maybe about 24 hours worth of time for all his time leaps. But yeah.
時間にルー
If
ズ
I'm
の
doing the
こ
math
とは
correctly
嫌
in
わ
my
れ
head.
る。
Oh no. And nobody likes a man who can't remember dates. Oof.
感謝しなさいよ。私は時計をよく見る癖があって、何時に何があったかは結構覚えてるの。
And be thankful that I make a habit of checking the time. I have a pretty good idea what happened when. Kurisu finishes typing and turns to face me.
いい、岡部。タイムリープマシンを使うなら、これだけは覚えておいて。
Listen, Okabe, if you're going to leap using the time leap machine, there's one thing you must remember.
携帯電話は絶対に手放さないこと。それはあんたの生命線、局所場指定のマーカーなの。
Don't let go of your phone, ever. It's your lifeline, your destination marker.
それさえ持ち続けていれば、どの時間へも跳躍はできる。
Yeah, probably feels like much longer for him, though. Even putting aside the stress, time travel probably messes up your idea of time. Exactly, yeah. Gonna say, it definitely probably fucks with them pretty bad. For sure, for sure. As long as you keep it with you, you can leap to any time you want.
でももし手放してしまって誰かに使われたら
But if you lose your phone, if someone gets a hold of it, then if I leap to that time, my memories could overwrite theirs. I don't want to imagine what might happen next.
あるいは
Yeah.
充電が切れたり壊されたりしたら
If it breaks or the battery dies. Alright, some of the negativity here, Kurisu. And then I won't be able to leap to that time. If it breaks, then I can get a new phone with the same number, but there will still be a period of time to which I can never leap.
タイムリープは成功しない
The time leap will fail.
だから絶対に携帯を手放しちゃダメ
Once again, never let go of your phone.
了解だ。
Got it.
今日の昼間にタイムリープしたら2時に私がマシンを完成させるまではあんたは特別なことはしてはいけない
After you leap back to this afternoon, just sit tight and don't do anything until I complete the time leap machine.
これが完成しないときっとこの時間までの流れが大きく変わってしまう
You accidentally prevent me from completing the time machine. The machine, it will likely wreak havoc with the timeline. Yeah.
完成したらすぐに実験はしないって宣言して全員解散させて
As soon as I finish, declare that we will not experiment, then send everyone home.
それから私に声をかけてくれればいい未来から来たって言われれば多分私は信じる
Ask me to stay. Tell me the truth. You say you came from the future, I'll probably believe you.
なんでわかる？
How do you know?
私のことは私が一番よく知ってる
Oh, who knows me better than myself? Kurisu grins faintly and stands up after she's done typing.
そもそも電話レンジを改良してタイムリープマシンを作ったのは
Oh no,
私なのだぜ
she used the words. And don't forget, it was my mad skills. That turned the phone wave into a time leap machine. My goodness.
さっきあんたからタイムリープしてきたって言われた時は自分の理論は間違ってなかったって思えた成功してよかったって思えた何の疑問もなくね
When you told me about your time leap, I took it as proof that my theories were right. I was happy I succeeded. I really was. I didn't doubt it was true for a second. I see.
念のためにキーワードを決めておきましょう
And just to be safe, I should probably give you a passphrase.
私の今一番欲しいものはマイフォークである
Uh-oh. Had some internet issues there for a second. Let me wait for that to catch back up again. Shit. Are we back now, chat? Hello, hello. Can you hear and see me? Yeah, it's gotten a little closer. Had a little bit of a power flux there. Alright, hold on. I am now? Okay. Hold on. Let me just check everything again real quick to make sure nothing's suddenly breaking because of that. Shit.